Why is that muted? Okay, do I have a microphone now? No, cancel that. Okay, now we have sound. Can you hear me on TikTok? You should be able to hear me on TikTok. There. Okay. Let's get some work done. How's everybody doing tonight? What's going on? My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com, where you can find all your chainmail themed apparel and accessories. And I'm currently working on a dice bag. This is in an effort to use up all of the rings I have in my basement, finish old projects that have been sitting around for forever, and or repurposing old projects that have been sitting around for forever. So I've got lots of projects to work on. Trying to guess. I have a few months worth of projects that I'll be able to work on for a while. Like, we're on day 5 or 6 of this dice bag. And I just did some rough math to figure out. Thank you for the follow, Michelle. I just did some rough math to figure out how many rings are in this, and it's over 3,000. And with some guesswork, I'm assuming that I have 500 to 1,000 rings left before this is finished. I'm trying to use up as many rings as I can. It ended up being more rings ended up being more rings than I thought it would be. I thought this would take half the supply of titanium rings I had left, but it's used up most of them, and then all the rest will go into the, what was it called? A junk jar, I think is what Mother of Dragons called it from TikTok. I think her Facebook page is like Wayward and Whimsical or something. She called it a junk jar, and I thought that's perfect. It's exactly what it is. It's a junk jar of rings that you don't have enough rings to make a project, but you can't, so you can't really use the rings for anything else, but you don't want to get rid of them just in case they end up being handy one day. So it's like the collection of screws and bolts that your dad or your grandpa has out in his garage or workshop. Buck followed the host. Thank you for the follow, Buck. Another one on our way to 10,000. Once we hit 10,000, then 1,000,000. Then once we hit 1,000,000, the world. All right. I don't know if so at current rate of follows, right? According to like the average number of followers I get per stream, I get about 6. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, right? And to get to 10,000 followers, I would need to stream and get 6 followers every day for 4 years. So I'm really hoping that that we get there sooner than that. But if not, that's okay. We'll just keep going like this. I've got a lot of work to do, and I don't plan on stopping making chainmail anytime soon. Should be doing this for a good long while. Alright, where are we at here? That's cool. I need a drink of water. So, I managed to get some stuff done today. I really hate leaving my house, so anytime that I have to do that, like I have to have notification of when I need to leave the house, like 3 days in advance, so that I can plan for it, because I'm going to go out and I'm going to get everything done that I need to get done in that trip. And then I'm going to come back to my house and I'm not going to leave my house again. So I had a couple days notice that I had to go exchange some pants. And the exchange process was really simple. I took the pants in and they reordered me the correct size and took my returns and are sending me new pants, so that was easy. Then I dropped off some clothes at Goodwill, and which I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone to the, what's it called? It's more of a homeless soup kitchen shelter place. Should have dropped them off there, but I wasn't thinking. I almost forgot to drop them off at all. What's crazy about Goodwill is that they'll take what you've given them and they'll go see what it's worth online, and then they'll charge a ridiculous price for it. And I've known about that for a while, because I had a friend who was I was working with someone who had a job at Goodwill, and they were letting me know that Goodwill was filling out all these price records on everything. So I shouldn't have taken it there, but I wasn't thinking. I was in a rush and threw them at the guy at the door and drove off. So aside from working on this, I got 2 errands ran today. I feel accomplished. You didn't get a notification you were live? You stumbled across it on TikTok? How are you? I'm doing all right. How are you? Yeah. So, unfortunately, if people don't stumble across it on TikTok, neither Facebook nor Twitch have ever been real good to me about notifying people when I go live. So, hence why I try to expand my stream as far as I can. And YouTube's never been that way. They've never notified anybody. I've only got like 23 subscribers on YouTube because I use that more for record keeping. Like, I made the live streams, I want them kept somewhere, so I just keep them on my YouTube channel. It's not really worth doing anything else on YouTube. So, or Meta at all. I'm sure many people share my frustrations with those platforms in trying to grow as a creator and expand the number of people who know about my business. So I try to spend my energy where it matters, and you know, it really only matters on TikTok. That's the only place where anyone sees what I'm doing and then like goes and downloads the app or goes to my store. So, despite, I'm sure many people have complaints about TikTok as a platform, but despite all of that, it's still the only one that I've ever managed to get myself out there. You subbed you twice on my YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate it. I did contemplate not working on this today and going and playing video games all day. But I chose to get this work done instead. I was thinking, oh, you know, my wrist is kind of hurting. I need to rest it for a day or two, but it's not hurting in the same place it usually does when I have to take multiple days of rest. So I'm not real concerned about it. Just keep the brace on when I'm weaving, and it seems to be okay. So but I was gonna say, I can't tell you how much effort I put into the Meta platform, like years of work, and just got nowhere. So, and I realize that, right, like, it's chainmail, and I'm sitting here opening and closing rings, and there's more exciting stuff going on out there in the world, right? I get it. But also, there's plenty of people that love hanging out and just chit-chatting while I work on stuff and coming and going, and, you know, you see them once in a while. Music's at a good volume today? That's good. If I stream video games, you'd watch that too? Right on. I have a PS5 and I stole my son's Switch to play Zelda. But can I say hamburger? And you're giving me a bunch of likes? Thank you so much. Is it the... I cannot see. The blood? Do you have an extension on your name? No, it's just the bid. I just had my glasses done. And I am like inches away from my computer screen. And I can't... I'm assuming that is... the bold, maybe? Yes? Okay. One of those? Sounds good. Something. I hate screwing up people's names, but... the font that is coming up on here is not friendly. And I swear I did. I just got my eyes checked. That was a disaster. I went to the VA and had to go back 3 or 4 times just to finally get a pair of glasses that I could see without getting a depth perception issue. Right? Like the first pair of glasses they handed me. You're fine, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you. The first pair of glasses they handed me, it was completely disorienting. Like if I tried to drive with those, I wouldn't have made it. So I took them first pair, second pair, and I think the pair that I'm wearing is the third pair. And they were finally, like, they didn't cause me a headache and they didn't cause me to feel off balance. And that first pair was wild though, because it looked like in my left eye something was a foot away from my face, and in my right eye it was in reality 15 feet away. Just this incredible disparity. Do you get the most mail done when you stream? Right on. Yeah, if you make chainmail, come join me. We'll weave rings together and bullshit, and maybe one day I'll be cool enough. I'm working on a dice bag. Hi, Terry. Let's see if I can get this laid out for you. So, currently working on these contractions down at the bottom to bring it in. Make sure you can see that. Sorry, my camera's a little wonky. Yeah, okay. Thank you for the follow. So I've got the bottom here to bring in, and then I'll make another row of this elf weave that's up here across the top, and then close it off with close the bottom of the dice bag off with some contractions. And then we'll clean it, etch it, try and anodize it, and hopefully it'll come out gorgeous. I'm not holding my breath about that last part. I don't know what grade of titanium this is. It's different than like this cube that I worked on. These are very springy. They act like titanium. And they're anodized. It's kind of worn down because I intentionally wore them down. But this is very soft titanium, and I don't know how it's going to react to being anodized, but that's part of the fun. Looks good. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I was thinking this is almost, it's really large enough to be a small purse, right? And if I have enough leftover rings, I may change how I've done up the top of the bag and turn it into a small purse. We'll see. Because right now it's just got some rings for a drawstring to close it up, and that can be changed to a purse flap or something. Oh, Terry, thank you for the follow. So you get on here, and your stuff is actually shown to people, and people like it, and they join you in your journey to whatever you're making, as opposed to other platforms. There's a channel on here. So if you are new at all to the chainmail community, you'll quickly find out that there are a lot of people out there who will tell people like me that what I'm making is not real chainmail, right? because it's not riveted, and it's made from a different material, and whatever, I didn't dig up the ore myself out of the ground and turn it into wire and then draw the wire out to get the right ring size, draw the wire out to the right size, make it into rings, and then rivet, right? Just all kinds of reasons why it's not real chainmail, okay? But then I was watching a video right before I went live, and there were two guys that had multiple firearms shooting at medieval type of armor, helmets and breastplates and chainmail, and it's like it doesn't matter at this point because firearms. I just thought it was funny. It was there was another video on that channel that someone in the comments was complaining because they hadn't credited the original person, but it looked like they were working together. That channel's main host in another channel on YouTube. It looked to me like they were both in the video, so I don't know. But anyway, they use the term fantasy coif, which a coif is a medieval chainmail headpiece, right? When it comes to armor, a coif is a head covering in medieval clothing, but so they called it a fantasy coif, and it was riveted chainmail, and they said it was steel. And the point of the video was to point out how there was no reason to really wear one because they didn't work. And they hit this, I don't know what you call them, but it was a plastic skull inside of gelatin, whatever they use when they're imitating human flesh or animal flesh. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But, so it was a skull encased in that, and they put a gamison or a piece of padding, and then they put on the riveted chainmail coif, and then they hit it with a sword. Ballistic gel, thank you. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. They hit it with a sword, and of course, the skull cracked, and green ooze showed where the skull fracture was from it. But I didn't understand why they called it a fantasy coif. And someone, I commented that, and someone else answered with, it is dependent on what they wear underneath the coif, and apparently there's like some kind of other skull cap, armor skull cap you can wear between. So you would have your padding, a skull cap, your chainmail coif, then your helmet. Okay, that's done. Right? And I think we're all done with those. We can start sewing them up. We'll put 45-degree seams in all of them, and it should come from 96 rings down to 48 rings, right? But so anyway, they didn't have they had padding in the coif, but they didn't have the metal cap, I guess, and that was why they called it a fantasy coif. Which was really weird, because they do a lot of armor destruction on that channel, which is cool, because you kind of get a sense of what stuff will stand up to. All right. I want to go... And this sounds like you were watching Zombie Go Boom. Yeah, kind of. That angle doesn't help me at all. Where am I going here? Here we go. Am I live on multiple platforms? I am live on all the regular platforms. All the mainstream ones. Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And so I am talking to more than just people on TikTok. If it sounded like I was a crazy person, that's why. Yes. Trying to get it so that I can go live on everything from my PC. And we'll get there. Alright, we're doing this correctly. These, once you get these seams going, they're super easy, but it's getting them there, getting them started. Like, what am I doing? So we've got 6 seams, and then a few more rows of 4 and 1, and we'll add on strip of elf weave and close up the bottom, and then we'll revisit the idea of changing the top of the dice bag. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I have some like little pocket change clasp closures, but they're all what you would call like base metal, and so I don't necessarily want to use them for anything because of that. I'll see if there's an anodized titanium one out there, or a titanium coin purse clasp out there somewhere. And if there is, we might make this project drag out longer. But that's okay. Come on. Alright, that went pretty quick. How do you get the rings? So you just buy them somewhere, or do you make them? Okay. I have made my own rings before, but there are multiple places to buy them from. In the link tree, there is a link to an app. It's the Mailworks app, and in there is a list of suppliers that manufacture rings specific for chainmail out of all different types of materials. There's I can't think of how many there are off the top of my head. These are from theringlord.com. You got chainreaction.ca, Ogre Rings, Tom's Ring Shop, Joe's Chainmail, Bracken Mail, We've Got Mail. That's not a joke. It's WEAVE, got MAILLE. Good people. So I have made my own rings in the past, and I find that for people just starting out, If they're going to put their energy into something they're not certain that they're going to spend the next 27 years of their life, working on this stuff, then, buy some rings first and see if you like it. Buy a kit, totally up to you. You can make your own rings. There are plenty of videos online on how to make your own rings. It's not specifically hard. It is, however, Jeep and Jammer, thank you for the share. Difficult to get a well-manufactured ring when you're working with tools from home. Most people don't have a saw blade set up to cut rings. They quickly find out that a Dremel goes too fast to cut rings. It just burns the Dremel up and go through a lot of blades. So you can definitely do it at home, and you can get set up to do that. I'm in the process of getting set up to make rings at my house. I want to have the ability to, if I need a specific ring size, I want to be able to just go and make that ring size really quick without having to order and wait on other people. But I want a professional setup, so I'm trying to move towards having a shop where you can do 90% of all the chainmail stuff that you can do: welding, anodizing, making rings, tumbling, polishing, etc. All that fun stuff. Figure I've got a welder, I've got a tumbler. Just get the rest of the pieces, and I need an anodizer for this project, so I might as well pick one up just in case I have future titanium projects I need to work on. I don't plan on having any, but you can anodize with 9-volt batteries. But as I was quickly informed that if I attempt to anodize with 9-volt batteries, I could likely cause one of the batteries to overheat and blow up, which means doing it outside or not doing it with regular professional anodizing equipment. How did I get into making chainmail? I was a wee lad and about 14 years old, and an uncle of mine who I'd done a few projects with, whom I actually in the future I might be doing more projects with, was working on a leather backpack he was making, and then I was just sitting there reading a book, and he pulls out his pliers and some rings and a sheet of chainmail he was working on, and showed me basically that you could make it at home by hand. He's very big into like costuming and all kinds of very cool stuff. So I went home and I got a piece of rebar and some lineman's wire from my grandpa and some really crappy snips and a pair of vice grips, and I hand wound some lineman's wire around the rebar, holding it in place with the vice grips, and used these really crappy snips to cut them. I think they're... let's see here. These are them. These Crestalloy made in USA snips are... They're dull as all get out. But I still have them. And I followed some pictures. Let's see here. That would be 1996. And I followed some pictures online. Could not find instructions anywhere. But I got a drill and a mandrel and some galvanized steel fence wire and some Nipex bolt cutters, and started making my own rings. Your buddy asked you a while back if you could make chainmail curtains for his canopy bed. If I was going to do something like that, I know that Mailtech does the welded sheets of 4-in-1, and they've done like curtains in the kitchen on the set of Chopped. They've done chandeliers with them, room separating curtains. I would want something like that. But you could what do you call it? You could make a bunch of different style chains and just kind of let them just like drape down the canopy. I don't know what his specifics are for the curtains, but I would love to have some curtains made from welded Mailtech chainmail mesh. I will one day. You broke some snips on your first attempt. That's what made you switch to mini bolt cutters? Yeah. I don't know if I have a pair of those down here. I might, but... yeah, like a bead door curtain kind of thing. I'm just throwing ideas out there of things I've seen. I don't know exactly what your friend wants or what style of curtain he wants, but all right. How many seams have we done so far? 3? 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 more to go. So I don't know when the Ring Lord got started. I know that they've been around for at least 22 years. I think they've been around for longer, but it really wasn't until I found the Ring Lord and I could order a bunch of rings from them that I started making really, I'm not going to say really cool stuff, but cooler stuff. It helps to have like professional products when you're trying to make nice things. He might be all talk, no action about it. We never talked about it much. He just talks about your mail. Hey, you know what? That's all. You know, if it never comes to fruition, so be it. It would be a cool project to do, but do I sell your pieces you make or just for yourself? So I have stuff for sale, but the bulk of what I sell is the chainmail themed apparel and accessories on my website. It's myusername.com, right? And then if you want a chainmail piece, I have some bracelets available. I can show you real quick. But that's all I have for sale right now. Most of what I'm doing right now. So these titanium rings, I've ordered them and they came with some severe barbs on all of the rings, right? It was not good. It was not something that could be made into something to sell, right? So I've tried to refurbish them and I'm trying to make them into something useful, but the quality of the rings isn't really up to par with what I would need. To make it something for sale, right? I suppose if I got a large enough offer, I might be willing to part with it. But it's just going to be a cool dice bag that ends up in my collection. On the window ledge next to the rest of my collection. So, we'll be right back after these messages. Alright. I don't know. There. Come on. Cooperate. Alright. Let me close this up and I will grab 4-6. Man, that's looking good. Look at that. Those contractions are just bringing the bottom of that right back in. It's perfect. Alright. Oh. So things like these bracelets, let me see, make sure I... Okay. So these each got a couple extra rings, or a couple extra beads on them. Got a nice buckle clasp on there. This is just a highly polished center bead. Doesn't have a clasp on it yet, but it would take a buckle clasp. And then some textured center beads and right. Another buckle clasp. Another textured center bead. And then I have some more that I'm going to be making, but I got to order some supplies soon for to finish them off. And then I will have a much larger selection to choose from. It's going to be a while before that happens, but it'll be sooner rather than later. So a lot of stuff I do end up making for myself. One, like let's take this cube for example, right? Anodized titanium. We're gonna etch it, clean it, etch it, and re-anodize it, right? Try to make it something cool, okay? But it's very wonky for some reason. Okay, one side is very stiff, and the others it's not even the same dimensions as the other side of the cube. So, like this used up a lot of my titanium rings that I ended up not being able to use these either, right? The color was fading off of them as I opened the ring, so that made it impossible for me to be able to make something out of them and sell them. At the end of the day, it used up all these titanium rings that I had, and so it's just going to try and anodize it and make something nice out of it. And that happened with just some of the rings that I bought. I'm trying to use up the bulk of them before. I've told myself multiple times I'm going to try and use up all these rings before I order more, and then I've ordered more rings, and it's fine. Everything is fine. It'll be okay. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. So a lot of times you'll, okay, because, where'd I go? Because the Ring Lord is in Canada, back when I ordered these rings as a young private in the Army, I didn't have a lot of money to ship stuff back and forth and didn't know to dispute, you know, hey, I can't use these rings because of XYZ, right? I just thought, okay, I'm stuck with what I get. Grateful for what I have. It sucks that I can't use it for what I wanted to do. And so it just ended up sitting for, I don't know, decade and a half maybe. Maybe 2 decades. Not gonna lie. But plenty of the rings I've ordered have turned out and worked out just fine. I don't want to be like name shaming the Ring Lord. They recently, because of some quality issues and the buying and selling of the company, they just made a promise for like to have better customer service, better ring quality, and better quality control. So like I'll order from them again. Another part of the reason why I'm trying to use up the rings I ordered from them is because a lot of the projects that I had were their old size, right? At one point they changed sizes from what the Ring Lord originally started out with, right? And they tried to true up all the ring sizes. So springy materials like stainless steel and titanium and aluminum, not so much, but with the harder metals, when you wrap them around a mandrel and you go to cut them, right, you have to release one end of the coil at least, and that causes spring back. All the tension is released in the coil, and it makes the diameter of the rings larger than the mandrel. So a while back they trued up all their ring sizes, and so the ring sizes were different for a lot of rings I was ordering. I could have gone and spent the money and had the ring sizes matched, right? What have I done? Something's wrong. Something's very wrong here. I could have spent the money to have the ring sizes matched, and that just did not seem like a by a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just missing a whole ring there. Weird. You regularly order from the Ring Lord? Yeah. I mean, they've been around for forever, you know? They have. That's not. Must not have finished that row. Weird. Glad I caught that. This should make it better. No. I was not paying attention when I wove that last ring. Okay, that's correct. Let's try that again. There. That was weird. Alright. Yeah, so in the in the course of the last 27 years, right, many people have started making their own rings at home. Okay. They've started up their own ring shops and are competing with other chainmail ring manufacturers, right? So there's a large selection of people to choose from. Almost 5,000 likes on TikTok. Likes or views? I can't tell from here. Yeah, I can't see anything on likes. Wow, that would be crazy. That's what I need. I need that. I need likes, and follows, and that shows my videos and streams to more people. My updates. I need to make another chainmail video. I did a bunch on like random stuff. I had about 30 viewers. That's cool. I did a bunch of videos on random stuff made out of chainmail, which there's a lot of. And most people have no idea about any of it. They've seen it, but they don't know to make the connection. Like Neptunic shark suits. Almost everyone's seen an episode of Shark Week where someone's wearing a chainmail suit. And it's from Mailtech, which was a company that came out of the Ring Lord. And it's all welded chainmail. Mailtech makes the chainmail, welded chainmail mesh, and then Neptunic customizes it to their suits and everything. Right? You've never seen Shark Week? Well, Neptunic shark suits are made out of chainmail, and they use them to dive and go swim with sharks, so they don't. You can get like a crushing injury, but sharks' teeth don't penetrate, and they're not swimming with great whites or anything. I don't know what kind of sharks they're swimming with. You'll never see me down there. My brother recently started scuba diving this past year, something like that. So he's got a bunch of videos on all his little dives and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. After I almost drowned and after I pulled a little girl from a hot tub last year, 2 years ago, last year, I have not been back in the water, but I would not have done scuba diving before that, before those events anyway. Right? But Neptunic shark suits, lunar rover wheels. You knew about the chainmail and diving, just never seen the show? I mean, I've seen it once, I think, on Discovery. Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff made out of chainmail, and I want to make videos. I want to make more videos focusing on other artists' work, because they deserve to have their name put out there, and they deserve to be talked about, and they deserve praise and admiration for their awesome works. The one I've done a video on was a 400,000 ring piece of a medieval tapestry. And that one's wicked cool. Alright, where are we at here? You pulled a little girl out of the canal and You and your wife were on a walk, saw it happen, little boy pushed her in and ran away. Oh no, that's awful. Yeah, the event, we were at like a going back to school event for my kids' school. It was the parents and the parents were all standing around, and kids were in a pool, in a hot tub, on a zip line. Okay, I don't know what this sound is, but I don't like it. Kids were running around all over the place, right? And all of a sudden, I hear someone asking, screaming for scissors. And we go over to there was an adult standing in a hot tub. I was like, what is going on? It's crazy. And the owner jumps in the hot tub. Right? So the parent was in the hot tub asking, screaming for scissors. And the owner jumped in and reached down and pulled this little girl. Her hair had become stuck in the suction drain. And they pulled this little girl up and handed her to me and another guy. And we started CPR and got 911 called and got her out of there. And she ended up going to school just fine, no problems. But she was definitely out of it. Definitely drowned. And so after that event and then me getting pulled out of a boat and nearly drowning myself, I'm too old to be messing with water at this point. You got a hot spring, okay, maybe. Hot tub, okay, maybe. I'm not scarred from that event necessarily. But but scuba diving? No, I'm good. Hard pass. This was 5 years ago you had that happen? That is the worst. And then I was talking about it and someone told me, it's like, oh yeah, kids can't be in hot tubs. And my kid will never be in another hot tub until he's grown. He's big enough now and he just cut off all his long hair. So he's probably fine and I shouldn't freak out as a parent, but still, when someone hands you a limp, lifeless child, it's like, oh, this is serious and that's bad. I should fix this. While inside you're panicking. All right. Come on. All right. So we got 3 rows of 4-in-1, and then we'll do the elf weave, and then close off the bottom of the bag, and that's it. We won't get through this tonight. What time is it? 9:30? Yeah, we won't. We might make it around once, but 2 tree rows of 4-in-1. For some nasty things about public hot tubs, don't think I'll ever go to a water park ever again either. Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, my ball. Okay. So yeah, that's coming along nicely. Have a decorative top and bottom, and then I really hope it anodizes nicely, So if we can turn this into something that was unworkable, and now it's good to go, I'll feel pretty good about myself. Don't think you... No, you already said that. Okay. Come on. Need to start thinking about what project I want to work on next. I think working on this Finnegan's Wake inlay would probably be a good one to... It's got a lot of color. It's very large. Takes up my whole workspace. That might be a good one for people to see. So we went to a water park recently. We went up before school started for my kid. We went up to the Wisconsin Dells. Did a riverboat tour and stayed in one of the resort parks up there. That was a fun little family trip. So I grew up seeing a lot of rock formations, and so it was nice to take my kid on a trip where he could go look at cool rocks with me. Because my dad dragged us all around he dragged us around to every rock formation and natural park west of the Mississippi. So I've seen almost all of them. Said 5,000 likes on TikTok, huh? I don't like, I can pull up the live on TikTok, and so I don't see any of that. That's cool though. If I could do that on every day. Yeah, 5.7 thousand now. Wow. That's crazy. That's good. Because I know all it takes is one video and people get 10,000 followers, right? So keep doing this, and like overnight I'll have access to go live and just be able to stream from my PC, and that problem will be solved, right? That would be 5,000 likes on one video tonight, right? Would be more than all of the likes I had on my entire account. Now, granted, I didn't really start making videos every day until September, beginning of September, right? I was just kind of fiddle-faddling around, and so between the beginning of September and now, about 5,000 likes. We broke 5,000 likes the other day. So if I got 5.7 thousand likes on one video... Now, do likes on live videos translate over to my newer videos getting less views lately? Do likes on lives translate over to like the total cumulative likes that you get that are added up in your account? I don't know. I assume they are, but you don't think so? Okay, that's fine. I did put out a little video before this, so hopefully that got me some likes. But also, hopefully, think the lives on the likes on lives, I can talk, are separate. Yeah, I would imagine that they would be, but you know, I don't know. Every time I do, okay, so every time I send out a video and then go live, TikTok shows a bunch of my other videos too. So I'll have videos from last month that are getting a couple likes. And it's never a lot, you know, onesie twosies. But, you know, it'll be a video that had low views and low likes, and then they just pumped it up, shot it out there, which is cool. I'm going to do 2 rows tonight, and then I'm going to, no, should I do? I should, here's what I should do. Okay, I'm going to finish this row, and then I'm going to start on the row of elf weave, right? We'll start working on that. But they add up? Yeah. I will, okay, finish this row, work on the elf weave, finish that, attach a row to the elf weave, and then connect this row and the elf weave with a 3rd row, and that'll be my 3 rows at the bottom of this bag. That's the way to do it. Think they're a part of the algorithm to show your live to others? I hope so. Right? Like, so in the woodworking hobby, right? If you go to woodworking groups on Facebook, they're all in the millions, right? Same with knitting, same with crochet, same with macrame, whatever. There, millions of people do those hobbies, right? If you go to the largest chainmail group on Facebook, there's 15,000 in there. The group that I'm a moderator for has half that. And those are the 2 largest groups. And it's mostly made up of the same people. They're in both groups, right? Very few people that I'm aware of are in just one group. So, if I can get more people familiar with what chainmail is and let them know that they can make it in the comfort of their own home, sitting comfortably at their computer desk, or you know, just chilling at the house, there's I'd like to see chainmail on par with other crafts, you know what I mean? Just stuttered yourself, your pliers slipped. I guess it's not a lot of people have the patience. Well, I mean, it's just like any hobby. If you want to be, you know, it only takes patience if you'd rather be doing something else, right? If I wasn't here chatting with you guys, then I would be sitting here watching a movie doing this. Probably doing it upstairs and watching a movie on my big screen, but you know, crafts people, no matter the craft, it all takes, you know, patience to get good, patience to develop your skill, and beyond just sitting here weaving rings together, right? And that's, you know, universal. Okay, we've got a pumpkin. There you go. Once this is filled up with dice, it's gonna sit really nice. Haha. All right. Actually, yeah. Let me see something. Let me double check something real quick. Interesting. All right, so let me start on this elf weave. Where'd I go? So to make elf weave, you make a long 1-in-1 chain, right? And I happen to know I need, what is it, 96, 96, 96, right? I need a 1-in-1 chain, 192 rings long. And then I will connect them with another 96 rings for a total ring count of 288 rings in the strip of elf weave that we're using. And that should be enough to connect to the 48 rings around at the bottom of this dice bag. And if that all works out without issue, then there will have been very, very minimal mistakes, because all the seams came together, the counting came together, the number of rings in each row was working out correctly. So that'll make me feel good about my skills. So we'll make this 1-in-1 chain here, and then you fold the chain in half and start weaving it together. But we won't. What time is it? 9:50. We won't get too far on this tonight. And that's okay, because I'll finish the strip of elf weave tomorrow, and I'll actually probably finish the bag and have it done by tomorrow night. But when I went to connect this top strip of elf weave that I put here, right, that took me a good hour and a half, right? Struggling just to connect 6 rings together, okay? And so I'm going to do this second row off camera again, because that took me way too long and was very... I was like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? And I still don't know. I finally got it figured out, but man, I'm not doing that on camera. I'm willing to admit my faults as a human being. But in order to save face, I'm not going to sit here and struggle trying to connect the two ends of this elf weave strip. And then we might just do a video tomorrow night. I need to make videos about other people's stuff that they have made. And that would probably be good. And then give my wrist a break and take a break. And it's Friday, have some family time and whatnot. And what I'll do, while resting up my wrist, is get some computer work done. I do need to focus on... I do have some stuff that I have to get done on the computer tomorrow, so... Okay. So when you're making elf weave, you find the center, make a 1-in-1 chain that's even on both sides. Now comes the pain in the ass part. This is how I make elf weave and interwoven 4-in-1. Shout out with a strip. You don't think the new print will finish till tomorrow afternoon sometime? Okay. You weave your first ring through, and then you flip it over. And it gets disoriented, and you kind of have to know what you're looking for. And it doesn't start taking shape until several rings in, right? Okay. But it's the same with any weave. You practice it enough and you'll figure it out. Oh, and also, elf weave likes to, the rings like to flip over on themselves when they're only one row wide. So that is also a ton of fun to deal with. So you gotta flip them back to where you need them to go, and especially with small rings, it's definitely a giant pain in the butt. Anyway. It's going to even be more fun when I'm connecting it to the 4-in-1. Twyla, thank you for the follow. You just got an idea for a chainmail runner for your gigantic dining table? Hell yeah. I would do something like that if I was allowed, but the last time I gave my input on what we should do in the dining room, I was promptly told that that would never happen, and that's fine with me, I guess. I have an entire basement to decorate, and that has been decorated the way I wanted, so see, 6,000 likes on TikTok. I wish, I don't, what are you guys looking at? Not that I don't believe you, right? But when I go and look, I don't see anything. I see a couple people watching, and that's it, really. And then when I go to like the live page, it didn't show me much, but it's okay. Don't worry. We're going to finish this up, and then it's going to be time to make sure everything's ready for the rest of the evening, and that the coffee's prepped for tomorrow. It's under my username. Cool. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. Yeah. No, I don't have anything. If I hover over my username on what I can see 5,977 likes, which would be like the cumulative number of likes that I have from the last 2 months. But if we break 6,000, that's cool. You don't know if I can see it? I don't know either. I don't think I can, but whatever. Where's the rest of that ring go? Oh, there it is. Sometimes rings break. That's fine. Just try not to stab yourself when you feel a ring fail. That happens. Oh, especially with these small Xeron pliers, right? when these pliers slip or ring breaks or something, these will go right into you. Just be careful if you use them. Just FYI, they're sharp and they will pierce skin. So, safety third. Be careful. Alright, we got a small little section of elf weave started. That's always fun. Nothing like busted ring in your hand. Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that on any of the platforms, but that's essentially what it looks like. And then if you're on TikTok, we're just making the top of this another row, this elf weave right here. So we've got it started. All right, that's going to be good enough for me for tonight. So let me flip this around here. Oh yeah, underneath my name on the live flip camera, it says 6.1 thousand likes. Dude, that's crazy. That's nuts. 6.3 thousand. All right. Well, we've gotten this far, right? We have all our sidewalls done. We're gonna make another strip of elf weave for the bottom and then close it off. And I don't know, if I'm close to finishing it off tomorrow, if I finish that elf weave strip and get it connected and everything, I might pop on and just go live. But like I said, I got to give my arm a break. It's been working well for me. But if it's hurting tomorrow, I'm going to do minimal chainmail. So, right. It says invite people to go live. Are these people watching? Is that who that is? That's cool. Have to see if I can find some people to go live with. But we're not going to do it tonight. It is 10 o'clock. It is time for me to get ready for tomorrow. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I do appreciate you chilling with me as I work on this project of using up all my rings in my basement. All right, please follow, like, share, do the clicks. And if you're interested in learning how to make chainmail, go to my bio in the link tree. There's the Mailworks app, which for Google and Apple, and it's got a bunch of resources listed for people to get started. And please check out my website, mailworks.com, where you can find all kinds of chainmail themed apparel and accessories. I'll have more designs for that soon, but there's a lot on there already, and it's all related to chainmail, and it's all a lot of fun. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate you, and I will talk to you all later. All right, you guys all have a wonderful evening. I need to turn this off this way. All right, have a good one, guys. And now 7,008 likes. Holy shit. Long experience, yeah. Neutral good. Large number of viewers. And the TikTok was 7,000. Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. I'm looking at the result here. 7,008 likes, which is weird because there was only... Okay, so... Several people must have been liking multiple times. At least 3 times or more. Because there's only 2,026 viewers. That's okay. So, anyway, man, you have a good night. I'm going to finish up down here and make sure my coffee is prepped for tomorrow morning. All right. Anyone can send as many as they want. Well, I got 7,008 now. So that's cool. Someone was clicking on it. It still adds to your numbers. Which ones? Like, I don't know. I'll get it figured out. But good luck with your print on your printer, and I'll talk to you tomorrow or whenever we're both back on. And so that's the one for your live algo. Okay. Well, I hope so. Hope it works. I need all the likes I can get. So, have a good one, man. I'll talk to you later. Am I sure? Oh, I can't exit while live. I got to end the stream first.